Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students, scholars and sportsmen, professionals and professors, listeners and learners, those who are listening from the field of science, religion, spirituality, arts, commerce and engineering, presence of advertisers, administrators, advisors and advocates. Today it is very nice time, nice place, nice section of listening with 100% presence and of mind. Our present Prime Minister, Sir Dr. Narendra Modi ji, and affectionate sons and daughters, reverend fathers and mothers, those who are listening the truth of science and spirituality, I heartily, cordially welcome all of you. It is the place for self-study. Its name is SR Library. It is just in front of Green Park. Nature park shows the scene and fragrance of the nature. One nature is that nature we see around our atmosphere and environment. In the environment and atmosphere, we enjoy a lot of changes. Externally, students of English literature study the nature as the priest of nature, worshipper of nature. William Wordsworth, who is known as the king of nature, who has explained the nature as a mother which treats us like a doctor. It nurtures us like a mother and it guides us like a supervisor. So nature plays multi-dimensional, multi-sided and multifaceted roles. It is the greatest feature of our nation that we have unity in diversity. Our nation is a great composition of the different caste, color, creed, language and all that. But there is equality, oneness and unity that is matchless, incomparable and unparalleled throughout the world. Such places which we see, think and observe only in the city life. There are different facilities in our city. It has Green Park just in front of, and nearby there is a government hospital. It has nearby bus stand, and in this library we have a lot of facilities. There is fresh hot drinking water, CCTV surveillance and all kind of hard and soft material for study, which will enhance the knowledge of our scholars and learners. Peace of mind, and for the peaceful atmosphere, we can select this place. Competitive classes that are being held at Shri Ram coaching classes. In that series, it is providing different type of courses for the defense, railway, SSC, bank, jet. So different type of courses are being provided here at the reasonable fees. Devotion and dedication of this founder is really remarkable and matchless. Everyone who comes here, he can feel, think, consider about his intellectual, emotional and spiritual, educational, passion, emotion of our mind and heart. You see that there are individual cabins. You have seen a peaceful place for the scholars and learners. These are preparing for their competitions. So anyone who wants to prepare himself or herself for doing the better, nicer and finer for our society and nation by doing self-study at the lonely and isolated place. It is being provided here. Students, scholars, you know that our Indian land is a land of starters, beginners and initiators. Those who came on this earth, they spread out the message of oneness, unity and equality. And it is the constitutional right of everyone that we are to be nationalistic and patriotistic for our nation. A great message provided by the messengers, forefathers, foretellers, forecasters. Swami Vivekananda, who addressed and appealed in front of the nation just by speaking two words. He speaks in the USA, in the America. My sisters and brothers of the America, it created upheaval in the minds of the people throughout the world. And it is the well-known thing which created upheaval. And it was the time of 1893. If we study in history, the culture, custom of our nation, then we find that Vasco da Gama, who came in India in 1498, and The start of Sikhism, Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj born on 1469, and William Shakespeare, King of Literature, who born in England in 1564. So this was the beginning of writing the literature fundamentally. Subsequently, there came different type of changes. In the presence of the words and thoughts and ideas that are immortal and unperishable, that can be found in the presence of nature. It is only the nature that make us able to be friendly and fearless. God or Lord, about whom we talk, listen, think, and we are fully dedicated and devoted. He who He is, He who was, and He who will, in past, present, and future. We can feel, and it is rightly said that our heart is the seat of God and body is the temple of God. But experiencing an experimentalist, spiritual perceptions express this thing that if we are the true meditator, if we concentrate, if we want to have soul power, spiritual power, then there are a lot of words in our religion which provides us the presence of Lord. There is no place where there is no Lord or God. If we recollect and remember the spiritual words from the Holy Bible, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Quran Sharif and Shri Guru Granth Sahib, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata and the Vedas, we learn that there are so many similarities and resemblances among the teachings of different religions. So those who were the religion starters, they were not less than the innovators and inventors, because they spent their whole life with nature. And it is rightly said that our body is made by 5 elements: air, fire, soil, sky and water. But our scripture evidences, witnesses, proves that there is also the existence of Lord where there is no air, fire and soil, sky, water. Even Swami Vivekananda appealed in the word that God does exist even where there is no light and sound. Means lightless and soundless place is also the place of Lord. So man, you have to understand that if you want to get success, success means not the platform, success means not any destination, but success is the name of continuity and regularity. If we are preparing for any competition, that is well and good, but one competition that is being practiced, being exercised always in our mind, there are negative and positive thoughts in our mind. If our soul is circled and covered with negativities, lust, ego, variousness, falsification, then we cannot be free from the falsification, false affection of this world. So it is our first duty to get up early in the morning with our daily routine, and we should worship the nature. Physically, externally, we watch many celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the stars, These are also made by that super spiritual power. These are also the parts of that super spiritual invisible God. But it is said that if someone is experiencing about the meditation, the repetition of the holy words of God, then he feels numberless suns, stars, moons inside the body. In psychology and psychiatrist, cardiologist, heart specialist know this thing, that there is the presence of Lord everywhere in the form of waves of sound and rays of light. And it is obviously and clearly written in the Holy Bible. Firstly, in the chapter of the Genesis, God made air, fire, soil, sky and water, and ultimately God himself came in the form of physical body, and he prepares his own copy who can be imitated, who can be imagined as the form of God. But through the Vedanta philosophy, we know that Swami Vivekananda proved it and advocated in front of the worldly people. Those who were busy in doing spiritual kind of research, he advocated them. If you are the true nationalistic and patriotistic for your nation, then you are to be true researchers. For our spiritual, social, political and economical values, we are to be honest for our motherland, and for unrelenting, unceasing and unstopping efforts, we are to be ready to fight against negativities of our mind. So never we should feel depressed and frustrated. If there is any anxiety or if there is any worry we have with us, then we are not the winner. It is rightly said that our all negativities, depressions, frustrations, diseases that we are facing nowadays, it's the result of natural imbalance. It's the man's interference with nature. When man do not make relations friendly and familiarly relations with nature, then nature creates imbalance. All the elements, air, fire, soil, sky and water, these elements are the creators. But if we do not be friendly and we do not care, we do not protect and save our atmosphere, then these five elements creates disasters, devastations, calamities. So natural imbalances, heavy rainfall, earthquake, economic crisis, political pollution, social unchanges, a number of problems it creates. Whether later on they become social and political problems, but these problems create from the nature. If we are natural and if we respect, accept and welcome our ancient and old traditional values, then definitely we learn this thing. We feel energetic and rejuvenated. So this message was broadcasted by Swami Vivekananda by saying that return to the Vedas. In the same series, William Wordsworth addressed return to the nature. Return to your childhood. Why has he proclaimed so? Because our nation is known as the nation of teachers, nation of Guru. Guru Desh. So we are to be ready to fight against our negativities, and if we fight internally with the spiritual power, soul power, then there is the possibility in the hands of man. A man can change the unchangeable. We read, write, speak, listen the language, but unread, unspoken, unread and unwritten are more powerful, about which John Keats strongly appealed that unheard music is more sweeter than heard. So gentlemen, free thinkers, freedom fighters of our nation, we are to be honest and sincere for our study, and we should recreate our generation. We should forget our past, and we are to listen, read and write with 100% present sense of mind. It is only the present time that can make our nation glorious. Nice to meet you, nice to think you, nice to watch all of you. Thanks. Dhanyavad.